Good morning. Okay, so the Wheel of Life. I want to look at some questions we can use to put your Wheel of Life together. Okay, so questions to look at. For example, I do think self-care is a good one to put in because it's really important you look after yourself. So where are you on a 0 to 10? How satisfied are you with regard to self-care? And it's sort of like I'd ask questions around how comfortable do you feel about looking after yourself? Have you any issues with giving yourself or your body what it needs? And what is that? Do you know what your body needs? Do you know what you should be giving? Also, like, would you have any issues, say, like, are there any issues with guilt or money or whatever around self-care? Often there's other things playing into it. And like, what do you actually need? Like, what do you do right now to recharge your batteries? What is it that does it for you? And then also, how flexible are you? Like, are you able to adjust and work around what's happening in your life and still manage to have self-care as well? Or are you kind of bouncing off everything? Are you really reactive? See, the thing is about self-care is kind of like standing still in a moment. It's like being able to cater for your needs and work with outside life at the same time. And it's about being grounded and being whole in a space. So self-care, think about that. And then if you were to change anything, what would it be? Even if it was only one thing, what would you want to do? And you have to ask the question, what is the reason you haven't done that already? Like, is there a real reason? Because the thing is, and you can apply this to any section on the wheel, if you haven't done it already, what is stopping you? Is it that do you actually want it at all? Is it what you want? Because the thing is, if you actually wanted it, you'd be making strides towards it already. So is it really what you want? And that's definitely something to work about in whatever section you work with. If there's something you haven't achieved yet, or something you haven't got in your life that you want, you have to ask yourself why. Like, what is the reason why it's not there already? You're not doing it already. And this is not judgmental. Like, this is, there's no right or wrong. I can't say that strong enough at all. What you're doing is taking a snapshot of where you are right now. It's just you. It's your life. Okay. It's your choices. You're exactly where you're meant to be. Okay. You're not broken or anything. You're exactly where you are, because the choices we make in life lead us to where we are right now. Okay, so you're exactly where you should be because of the choices you've made. Like, don't beat yourself up because you're not further on, because you haven't made those choices yet, and maybe you haven't decided where further on is, or you could change your mind as to where that place is going to be. So that's what this session is all about. You want to look at where you are right now, how satisfied you are, where are you on the scale, do you want to improve it, would you like to keep it as it is? You don't have to change it. Keep it as it is. If you were to make a change, what would that change be? And what has prevented you from making that change to date? If there is something there that is stopping you from making that change, we need to look at what we can do, or what you can do, to tackle that block, to get around that situation. Is there another way of doing it? Is there an alternative route? There is always something we can do. We might have to shift things around a little bit, but look at what you can do to get closer to where you want to be. And just take one thing. Like, you don't have to tackle everything all at once. And we'll do it in bite-sized pieces as well. You don't have to, change everything today. But with self-care is important, and you could put nutrition under self-care. I have it as a different space, but you could actually put your nutrition, you could put exercise into self-care, whatever it is you need. Sleep could go in there. Okay, so it's about being comfortable with you, looking after yourself. And then your physical space, like I'm going to just do more questions around that as well. If you're looking at, say, if it's your house or your workspace or your garden, okay, there's very little you can do about your workspace because it's not yours. You don't have ownership of it if you're working for somebody else. So there are small things you can make on your desk or in where you eat, or the different things that you can do within your workspace. What do you like? What do you not like? Is there anything you can change or adjust to make that experience more satisfying for you? Is there anything you can bring in? Like some people personalize their workspace with photos or little plants or any little mementos. Like make it more your space, make you feel comfortable, or even if it's like a little plaque to help you with goals on the self-care thing, like go home on time, things like that. So it's making that space yours. Or if you're in the garden, it's about, if you're a garden person, again, that could tie in with self-care, and you look at having a space where you can ground yourself, where just even the satisfaction of looking out and seeing a nice garden, whatever that shape that takes for you. And for your own house, are you happy with where you live? Do you want to move? Are you happy with the people you share with? What needs to be done? Does anything need upgrading? Do you need help with cleaning? Do you need, does anything need to be recycled? I do find when you're doing questions like this, to declutter is hugely beneficial. That if you declutter, and you can really see things for what they are, and we'll talk about like the physical decluttering in the home. We'll declutter in other ways as well with journaling, but it just gets the ball rolling. Just to start clearing your space and seeing things for what they are. And just look at as well, I'll leave you on this, is like, if you're a certain way, if your wheel is a certain way, and you haven't made those changes, if you can see where you want to be. You see, sometimes we stay in a space because it's comfortable. And it is more comfortable to stay in a space than to move forward. And it's not until that space gets really uncomfortable that we actually want to make the change, that we stay a bit longer. Like, do you know the way if you're unfit and you're putting on a few pounds, you can say, I could manage another 3 or 4 pounds before I actually have to exercise. Something like that. It's like, I'm not bad enough. I can still get in my jeans, diet in a week or two. Rather than tackling it and just doing it now. So there is that comfort zone that we're all in. And if we haven't moved, you have to ask, is it that, do you really want that goal? Or is it that you're too comfortable as you are, that you're not really ready to make the changes? You're not uncomfortable enough to make the changes? Or maybe it's just you're afraid. Some people are afraid of change. Some people don't like it. They're very uncomfortable. But the reason it's uncomfortable is because it's different. It's new. It's something you haven't done before. You're not, very few people feel entirely comfortable with change because it is different. So there's sort of questions to tease out. You're looking at where you are, where you want to get to, and what has prevented you from getting there. And whatever it is that's preventing you from getting there, what can you change or adjust? Can you go around it? Can you modify it? Can you tweak it? Can you do something to get you that little bit closer to your goal? And if it is achievable to get to where you want to be, to increase those satisfaction numbers, you have to ask yourself, what is the reason I'm not there already? Because you learn a lot from that space. That's a really good place to go. And again, it's no judgment. Get your journal out and start writing about it, and you'd be surprised what it could throw up. When you redo it, when you go through all of these questions, and we'll look at the wheel again, and you could, you'll make adjustments, and it'll be interesting to see even how far on you've moved in just asking a few questions. Okay, I'll talk to you again and see how you get on with this. Do, subscribe, like, follow, share, whatever it is, wherever you're seeing this. It might be YouTube or Facebook or wherever. Do share, because it is useful. You know, somebody will get benefit from this, and it only takes a few minutes. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.